Once upon a time, there was a man named John who was very proud of his intelligence. He thought he knew everything there was to know about the world, and he loved to show off his knowledge to others. One day, John heard about a famous philosopher named Socrates, who was known for being very wise. John decided he would go see Socrates and show him just how much he knew. When John arrived at Socrates' house, he found the philosopher sitting outside talking to a group of people. John interrupted them and said, "I have come to learn from the great Socrates. I know so much about the world already, but I want to learn more." Socrates looked at John and said, "That's very interesting. But before we begin, let me ask you a question. What do you know?" John was taken aback. He had never really thought about what he knew before. He had always just assumed he knew everything. So he said, "I know everything there is to know about the world. I have read all the books and studied all the sciences. I am an expert on everything." Socrates smiled and said, "Ah, I see. Well, let me tell you something. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." John was confused. "What do you mean?" he asked. Socrates replied, "Think about it. If you think you know everything, you will never learn anything new. But if you realize that you know nothing, then you will be open to learning and growing." John thought about this for a moment and realized that Socrates was right. He had been so focused on proving how much he knew that he had stopped learning new things. From that day on, John became a student of Socrates, eager to learn and grow in wisdom. And so, dear reader, remember the words of Socrates. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. Always be open to learning and growing, and you will find true wisdom.